Do you find it difficult to disassociate from what it is that you do during the day when you go home for night time? Do you find that you define yourself by what you get done during the day? Well, this is common. Most people do this. And what it can do is create a lot of stress and a lot of conflict. So stick with me, because this week I want to help you to be able to look at this in a totally different way and break free from that forever. Hi, this is Grant Herbert, VUCA Leadership and Sustainable Performance Coach, and today I want to continue our conversation around all things leadership, and in this case, personal leadership, by helping you to realize it's not who you are. Most people I work with identify themselves by what they do. You go up to someone and you have a conversation, and invariably they'll tell you very quickly what it is that they do. One of the things I want to do is quickly challenge people on that and help them to be able to understand that what you do is not who you are. You see, when you identify yourself by what you do, you bring in a lot of judgment. You bring in a lot of elements that then contribute to you not being able to pull back from what you do when you go home for nighttime, or when you go on holidays, or when you go to be whoever you need to be in every other area of your life. Your work is just part of life. It's not your life. And what you do, whether you've got a title or not, is not who you are. So what I want to do is help you to understand how you can break free from this by looking firstly at why we do this, and then being able to look at practical things that you can do to shift that thinking and then change the behavior. So by saying what you do is not who you are, what I need to do is help you to work out who that is. You see, the problem with identifying what you do with who you are is it's a part of the performance trap. It's an area where you see yourself being able to perform and get the approval of others. I'll stand on stages or in rooms working in, law firms or other professional services firms or corporates all around the world. And the first thing I want to do is ask them to put their hand up if they are a lawyer or they are a whatever it is that I'm talking to that day. And they put their hand up, and I'm sure that you would as well. And quickly challenging that to flip their perspective around that is the key to being able to break free of that performance and approval addiction. So you see, being a lawyer is something that you do. Insert whatever it is that you call yourself in there as well, and that's what you do. It's not your identity. Your identity is who you believe you are, and it's the foundation for everything that you do. It's the basis of every relationship. It dictates to you who you associate with and how you associate with them, how you perform. All these things come from this foundation of your identity. And that's why in the 9 crucial shifts that I work with, this is the key area that we start with. Building that foundation of a healthy identity so that you understand who it is that you actually are. And in most cases, you rediscover who you are because you've lost that because of the things that have gone on in your life, the experiences that you've had, what you've made that mean about you that has changed your life. So I'll say it again. What you do is not who you are. So, okay, Grant, who am I? Great question. And that's only answerable by you. One of the other big challenges is that we outsource that. We let other people decide who we are by their judgments, by the words that they say, by whether or not they give us that approval. So it's key and critical for you to realize that it's only up to you. You decide who you are and who you're not. So what is an identity? It's a deep-seated understanding founded on personal power that allows you to go, you know what? This is who I am. And in fact, this is who I'm becoming. And I'm happy with who I am. I'm teachable, I'm humble, I've still got a long way to go, and I'm on a journey of imperfection, but I know who I am. It's underpinned by what's important to you, your priorities, your values, your morals, those inner characteristics. And that's who you are. So if you're not sure on what those things are, or as I said, you've lost them because the speed of change and the pace of the world and all these experiences and all the mistakes that you've made and what you've made that mean has clouded that, then step one is to pull back, sit down, get in a space that inspires you, that's quiet, eliminate the noise, and ask yourself the question, what do I believe in? What's important to me? What are my priorities? Now, when you do this, you need to bring your big voice. You know, if you've been with me a while, you understand that I call it your mini-me, that small voice that wants to keep you safe, that whispers in your ear and tells you about all the mistakes that you've made and makes sure that you don't do silly things like move outside the comfort zone or the worth zone that you've put yourself in. And that voice is not going to help you in this process. You need the empowering voice, the one that says, you know what, this is what you have done. This is what you've been able to achieve. These are the experiences that you feel proud about. And sometimes you need a coach. You need someone else who can facilitate that conversation. Because unfortunately, what happens, because it's so deep-seated and rooted in that conditioning, that internal dialogue just comes up out of the subconscious. And when you're about to think about something that you value or that you want out of life, that can be stolen away and you forget about it and you put it back in the box where it was. So whatever process that you need, get with someone so that they can help you to rediscover what's important, who you are. And at the pinnacle of that is your purpose. What are you on the planet for? Now, it's a question I've asked myself many times over the years. You know, why was I created? What's the plan for me? What am I supposed to represent and achieve? And what's my calling? And that goes way beyond what I do for a living. So over the coming weeks, we're going to do more on this. We're going to look at why it is that you've lost those things. We're going to make sure that you're empowered with different mindsets and different behaviors that's going to help you to go way beyond what it is that you do and come back to your true identity. Not the one with the mask, not the one that you pretend that you are because you think that's what other people expect you to be. No, the real you, the authentic you, the one that is the only one that's able to be who you need to be and do the things that you've been called to do. So if you go home for night time and you're not able to disassociate from your work, I really want you to consider that that's because you've made what you do who you are. And therefore you carry it around everywhere you go. Well, that's it from me for another week. Join me again next week as we go deeper in this and we look at the reasons why your identity has become what it is and how that true identity has been eroded away. I'll see you then.